Hello everybody, how's everyone? So right, today's topic we are still gonna go back and talk about localizer and the translation, all this thing again. Well, the thing is, right, this time around we are gonna use quite a few point form from Rev Say and as well as Hero. I know a lot of people doesn't really like some of their opinion, but at the same time I feel like some of their points are valid. As well, we are going to introduce a new variable Asmongold. The thing is, right, he kind of like give quite a few passerby point of view, and I kind of like some of the way that he think that can actually get one like normal people to actually question the legitimacy of the translation done by a localizer in Japan or any other country. So long story short, apparently that localizer have been coming up with translation that have been out of the source material done by the original Japanese. And in case anyone want to know, they are called localizer. They are not called translator. I know in my previous video I kind of put translator and localizer as one thing. Apparently that got me quite a few dislike, and maybe they just don't like to get called translator. They prefer to call themselves quote unquote localizer. So if you're a localizer and you're watching my video and you're mad, oh, by all means write in the comment below and let me know, am I right or am I wrong? Because from how I look at it, it seems like the way you are translating is very, very bad. It got a lot of people to actually question the job of a localizer in any other country. So what is the issue we are having here? Well, apparently that translator and localizer seems to be a different job, even though they are doing what a lot of people are saying, translating a language to another language that people can understand. So in this case, we are mostly localizer, is being mostly quote unquote do the translation from the JP Japanese to the EN English. And it's always one of the most common job because a lot of Japanese animation, games, manga always tend to have the issue of having a hard time being translated to a language that people can understand. And quote unquote, they are called localizer because they tend to use local word or language based off the country they are going to be published. So what does that mean? Well, the thing is, right, it just means that let's say for example, if the Japanese manga or anime is going to be published in American English, they have to translate in words using words that the American people will understand. And quote unquote, apparently that based on some of the video that they show in Rev Say and Hero will saying apparently SAS and insert all this etc. are considered part of it. And I was like, seriously? The one thing I was actually kind of surprised that even though Asmongold actually, if you guys hear him say it,
man, okay, that's weird. I wonder why somebody would do that.
I wonder why some people would do that. Well, the thing is, right, a lot of people nowadays have been using translator or even go to the point of learning the language of the Japanese language to understand the translation themselves now. And the one funny thing is that why did such a thing not happen in the past? Well, the thing is, right, in the past people didn't even know about Japanese language, or there was not a proper there wasn't like a boom for learning Japanese language. Like people just didn't feel the need to learn Japanese language, including me myself. I'm guilty of that. And because when I was young, I just watched the English version, I listened to the Mandarin version. Like I just see it and I just kind of, okay, I can understand it, I'm fine with it. But when you realize that sometimes the translation or the subtitles seems a little bit weird, like why is it that the person speaking in Japanese just say a few words, but the Japanese is just saying a few words, yet the English is just like one long sentence? Or when the Japanese is saying a long sentence, the English version is short sentence. You kind of like, yeah, you have to go and check it out yourself. And as I get older and older, I decided to learn Japanese language because at that time I was like, yeah, I kind of like want to learn the Japanese language because it'll make me understand Japanese easier, as well as that I have been to Japan wanted to work in Japan, so I kind of like want to learn Japanese. And even before I live in Japan for 6 years, I also still study Japanese. Actually went to a Japanese school, language school to be exact, as well as learning additional one more year of Japanese language in Japan itself. I will talk about some of the opinion that given by my Japanese sensei, Japanese language teacher. They actually kind of like, a lot of people kind of like wondering like, why is translation being an issue? Why is the localizer seems to be a bit weird? Like like short is that the localizer add in words that is not words by word done by the Japanese. It's like if you actually Google translate, I feel like he'll actually show quite a very nice moment. It's like a Japanese language on this part of the on this part here. It's like, in simple terms, the translation given by the woman is that even if given a chance, I can just easily defeat an old man. That is the most simple way in a nutshell. And if a fan translator gave it, it will just say that along the line of like, I won't even lose to an old man and I can defeat him easily. And then for the Google, it just say I can easily, quickly, and thoroughly defeat an stupid old man. Simple, right? Very easy to understand, right? But apparently that the localizer say, no, it's very offensive to defeat an old man, but we have to make it even worse. So they just go and add in, they just rewrite the whole damn script. They rewrite the whole damn script that does it doesn't make sense in any form. It doesn't make sense of what the joke is. It doesn't even make sense on what the person is trying to convey about. And even though at this part of the map, when they say that, who cares about those losers say, I'm thankful for chocolate mint. Thank you, chocolate mint. But the English one is like, I don't want chocolate mint. I'm gonna say chocolate mint once. Thank you, chocolate mint. Like, I can see some, like, personally I would say that yes, translating is not an easy job, which is the reason why in my previous video when I say that AI is going to replace translator job or localization job, I don't think it's a total replacement. It's just in a way make it easier for the translator or the localizer to have able to understand the words from word and make it like at least like let the AI do the first script translation, and then the localizer see any error or maybe make it seem like some of the words seem make it much simpler to read or along the line, and then it'll be much easier to and faster to be published to the Western audience for if the and this is how I look at it. I don't see any issue with AI replacing job. It's not like when they say it's replaced, right? It's not like I think it's 100% replacement. It's more towards the point of like make life easier for the localizer and translator to translate for their job to easily translate those language and then make it easier to be and faster to be published. That's how I look at it. But localizer just making noise that they are going to get replaced by the AI and they're like, no, our job is going to be at risk again. Like, a lot of people go to the point of saying they read what they sow. But the thing is, right, I talked about this in my previous video again. Link, I'll put all the link source in the description below so you guys can check them out after the video. But the thing is, right, the reason why some people or maybe otaku or weeb or whatever they are called, the fan of anime or manga or game or whatever they are called, they are actually mad at localizer or some translator not for misinterpreting the original source of the Japanese game, anime, manga, or anything that is related. In a sense, right, some people are very, very mad for the localizer to input additional words or misinterpret the original source and make it in a whole new different language, a whole new different meaning, a whole new script that does not origin from the original source. It's just a whole new different story. And anyone who know about some story that had law or theory, because of the localizer where they include stuff that is not needed, it got people confused. It got people questioning the legitimacy of the story. It get people to question like what kind of person the character may be. And even in the Japanese person may be a cool, nice person, but the localizer decided to just change the whole damn script and make the person a bastard, even though the person is a nice person. So the thing is, right, localizer is now adding their, so I would actually say in this way, their own style to the story, which is the reason the very reason that made people mad at them. It's just adding their own taste to the whole damn thing. And when people say that the localizer say that they are, if you can't even understand the source, we are doing our job for you. But the thing is, right, people, how do you get the respect from those fans when you don't even respect the original source yourself? Which is the reason why people are saying AI is the best way to go at the nice moment right now, when AI is now blooming and people are now into AI. The thing is, right, AI translation at the moment seems to be near to the source, like as close as to the original source than the localizer now. And the translation, I wouldn't say it's 100%, or I wouldn't say it's that well yet, but from how I look at the translation myself, it seems to be like on a higher chance of being closer to the original source of the Japanese series, of the anime, manga, or games, than the localizer themselves now. And the best part of all, the AI translation is way more easier and way more simpler to understand. So, if I'm the company representative, if given a chance, right, if I have to choose between a low budget cost of AI translation versus a high paying human source where they keep on screwing up every translation that got fans mad at them, that can ruin the company reputation because of misinterpretation, I'm gonna choose the easy way out. AI got all the way to go. So yeah, I know I have not put up the skill. I know I have not said anything much, and I recommend you guys go and watch some of their Asmongold on his passerby way of interpreting. I recommend you guys to watch some of Rev Say and Hero Wheel way of sharing their evidence. I wouldn't say that I'm not standing on the localizer word, because if you think about AI replacing the job, if you are doing your job at the damn best, you won't even need to worry about AI replacing your job, because people know that you are doing your best and people will defend you. People will say that AI should not be taking over your job. But when you are not even doing your job in the proper way, and you are now making noise on Twitter, you are making issue that people are not even respecting your job, you kind of like just shooting yourself in the foot with your own gun. Because like I say again, you don't even respect the original source. And the funny thing is that I believe that I think it was Rev said, mentioning along the line that people should go and start learning the Japanese language to understand the original source, because they feel like they think that as a localizer they had take their time to learn Japanese, so they deserve the moment to do the localization. I would say one thing. I have do translation word myself. No localization word, fan translation myself. I find it strange why a lot of the original source got broken up to the point when some of the words are so easy to, like earlier when I say like why is the Japanese word like so long but yet the English one is so short, or the vice versa around. I realized that sometimes some of the Japanese word that is short words, right? Like sure desu ne. Like sure desu ne is like in English there is so many ways to say. Either it's like is that so? I see. Oh. I didn't know that. Like there are so many different ways. So sometimes you have to come up with the right words to say it. But the localizer is just say like, you know what? I wasn't expecting that. But now I see it. Oh yeah, maybe I should say that this such a thing. Like seriously. So nowadays AI is doing way better because they can just say, oh I see. They will just say, oh, naruhodo, let me think. Like that is the most simple way to go. And again, earlier when I mentioned along the line, like my Japanese language teacher, or I always call them sensei, my Japanese language sensei, they always give me the question on why on questioning, like asking me when I was learning Japanese from them, why is a translation from the Japanese to English always so wrong? In the Japanese word, I would say it is わかんないんですけど、いつも英語日本語の翻訳に英語のでしょ。それはいつもたくさんの言葉は間違いであります。In a nutshell, it just say that they are not very sure why they don't understand. Like a lot of the translation from the Japanese to in English have been like a lot of error, mistake, issue, and some of them when they're using the English sub, some of the Japanese people actually use the sub themselves to learn English. And sometimes when people say that why the Japanese don't speak English, it's because they realize that the translation is not right and they stop using that and they kind of like just decided to like just learn English through another way. If the translation done by localizer is already causing the Japanese to rethink on translating to English by many Japanese, alright. Yeah, you have to question the job done by the localizer, like the localizer now. And the thing is, right, I got one Japanese sensei in Singapore asking me that a few times, and I can't give her a good answer. I just say that I actually defend localizer at that time, saying that it's just that maybe that they think that the translation from the Japanese to the English is not that simple. Maybe there is some words that seems to be hard to interpret, and that they have to break it up and then translate it. Which I still stand by in that form, because sometimes some of the Japanese word, like I said before, as a temporary translator in the past, it's really not easy. Like some of the word can only, like some of the punk can only be in the Japanese way, and that when you translate it into English, it doesn't seem to fit well, because it's like, let's say for example, a kanji that had words that has same pronunciation as another kanji, but both of them are different. One is an animal, one is an item or pervert. And the word, if you guys are wondering, it's called ketamono. Ketamono got two meaning. It can mean a beast, or it can mean a slang, a pervert. So if you're gonna say that in a way, how are you gonna translate the joke from the Japanese to the English now? You have to kind of break it out. And sometimes when you think about the joke, you have to play around with the words and make it work. But localizers decided to say, too hard for me, I'm gonna just break the whole damn thing and say a whole new different story now. And that caused a lot of people to have an issue with, and that is the reason why I say people are now thinking that AI translator or French translator might be the best way to go, because localizer is now making the whole damn thing unreadable or like weird, just weird. All right. So the thing is, right, sometime in the past, I actually did consider applying for localizer work, and the only thing I can say, right, amazingly, in case you guys are not aware, that you have to have a degree. When I say degree, it's not like high school degree, it's not middle school degree, it's not that you have learned the language a lot of way, or even the specialized diploma degree. You have to have universal cert, which means that many of those localizer are university certified, meaning to say they are so-called smart people, and yet they are making such simple mistake that even people who don't understand the original source is able to sense the error in the source now that is done by the localizer. So now we have to sit down, rethink about the whole damn thing. Like, localizer, seriously, are you trying to play punk with all the people now? Because the thing is, right, from how I look at it, from how I stand by all the thing I say, I have given the localizer their way of saying. But I'm not saying that the localizer are all bad. There are some nice ones. Let's use Genshin as one of the best way to go. Genshin, the way they come up with the story, and people kind of like notice that the localizer for Genshin lately have been getting better and better. Maybe they change the people, maybe something along the line. Honkai Star Rail, all time best with all the storylines. That is so fun. And I actually say that why didn't they implement that in Genshin? And I think it kind of got spread to the MiHoYo company, and they add the same thing in Genshin now. So I'm actually enjoying both Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail because of the storyline. The dialogue is getting more and more interesting in my sense. So for those people on Twitter, those called localizer that is making noise about it, my advice is that rethink about what the word localizer actually mean. I don't think in the past maybe they say it's meant to be localized so that the local people can understand. I don't think so anymore. I think that localizer now should do better translation that is 100%, well, maybe not 100%, let's say like 95%, because maybe some of the words can't be fully translated, but at least let's say above 90%, to be word by word, line by line, so that people can look at it and understand that what the original story or the original source, everything is saying. Because if you're doing like a whole new script, a whole new story, people are going to catch up with it and realize the error. And nowadays, people are smart enough to play the original source. People are able to understand enough Japanese to play, read, and watch the original Japanese source. And there are even fans who are even willingly to do it at no fee to all the audience, to let them know that their version is way better than the so-called localizer now. And from how I look at it, when AI is going to replace localizer, if the AI is being used by the right person to make even more Japanese work get published more faster, to be spread to the Western audience, I see that as a win-win. But at the same time, if it's going to replace all of the bad localizer, I see that as 100% perfect win. But I don't know. I mean, like, they are still making noise. People are still talking about it. It has been a thing that has been happening quite lately, and it just kind of intensified lately. But if you guys want to add in your view, maybe you think that localizers should not be replaced, or maybe you think that localizers should rethink about their way of translation, right in the comment below, we can discuss that further. But if you do like this kind of content where I talk about this, yeah, don't forget to press the like button. If you don't like it, don't worry. Go to the watch history, delete the watch that you have watched this, and you'll never see the day of me again. But if you do like to watch me again, press that subscribe button. Very easy, right? Press it. If you have not, just press it again. Definitely very good for you. Because the one thing I'm going to show you, I never talk about a single trend. You think I always love to talk about this kind of thing? The thing is that maybe tomorrow I'll be ending up talking about other stuff. But till then, hope you guys all have a nice day or night. Bye.